Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Grizzly Talk Podcast with your host, Kennedy Patterson, of course. Now streaming on Spotify, iTunes, and iHeartRadio coming up later on with that. So we do have a special guest. A special guest indeed, of course. I've mentioned this on yesterday's podcast, but I'm going to have this special guest come up, of course, a member for GGC Wesley. I'm just going to let her introduce herself, and then we can ask her some questions here on Grizzly Talk Podcast. So go on.
Hey, yeah, thanks for having me. My name's Kat. I am currently the lead intern at GGC Wesley. I've been here for 4 years, and Wesley's been around for 3, so I've been with Wesley since the start. I'm just excited to be here.
Mm-hmm. Good to have you here, Kat. Of course, you guys can go follow them on their Instagram. I've mentioned it in yesterday's podcast, but when we do the video shout out for Instagram, I'm going to shout out their Instagram for sure. They have a great following. I see you guys on campus. What are some of the ideas you got going on for this semester?
So we are all about outreach this semester and offering opportunities for new students to get involved on campus. GGC is definitely a commuter school as it stands right now, so we're all about getting students involved and finding a way to form community, introducing them to other people so that it's not just a case where they come here, go to class, and go home. You know, we want to make them feel welcome on campus, especially students that are in the dorms who might not have access to other things around Gwinnett County. You know, create that environment where they can meet people, form friends, form a family, that sort of thing.
All right. That's really good that, you're reaching out to, in particular, GGC Res Life students. That's one thing that GGC, we try to thrive on for sure, to have the Res Life students come out, not just go to class, go to dining hall, and sleep. They want to get involved with the organizations and here on college campus. Now, do you have any bigger projects that maybe you might can mention on the podcast, or is it like a secret for what's the future projects to come up, like maybe a big event for GGC students?
So the biggest thing we've got going on right now is our fall retreat. We're going to take a trip down to Camp Grace in Roberta, Georgia. And that's where we get to connect with other Wesley foundations from around Georgia. So that's going to be pretty cool. But even bigger is our spring break mission trip. For the past 2 years, we've gone up to Colmont, Tennessee and worked with Mountaintop. And we get the chance to rebuild homes and porches, that sort of thing, for people who live in poverty and they don't have access to even like a Walmart because it's just not supportable where they live. So I think we're going back for a 3rd year, but we're also thinking about international mission trip. That might be something coming up in the future. So we're all about service, mission, forming community. So yeah, we're really looking forward to that.
That's good. So when you're on your mission trips, do you actually get to talk to people in that community that you're helping out? And what are their responses like when they see GGC students helping them out in poverty areas?
Yeah, absolutely. We love talking to people in the community. And Mountaintop specifically, we've gotten the opportunity to speak with a lot of families. And both times that I've been on the Mountaintop mission trip and spoken with the families, they've always been so, number one, just grateful. They say that they can't believe a college student would give up their spring break to go and serve someone that they don't even know, in a totally different state, in a totally random place, literally on top of a mountain. And so to see that kind of gratitude and just, they're usually overcome with emotion, and it's an incredible experience for sure. And it's great to be able to help another person in that capacity.
That's good. Giving back to the community is what, in particular, I'm about. I love it when organizations, they truly give back to their community, their organizations. It's a blessing, really, and I really applaud you guys for doing mission trips like that. When you mentioned international mission trips, are you thinking, what areas are you thinking for international? Let's just say if Dr. Joseph, president of GGC, says, okay, we'll approve GGC Wesley, we'll fund them to do international outside the state. What countries would you target the most?
So our director, Ryan Shostak, has connections with someone in Nicaragua. So that was our first idea. But Ryan Shostak's church also has been to mission trips, like in Costa Rica and other regions in South America. I'm not quite sure where they've been to, but So Nicaragua is probably the first on our list, and then just see what other opportunities we have.
Absolutely. It's good you're going bigger for the international. Hopefully it will happen for you, Kat, with the international mission trips. So you mentioned we've been back and forth with communication about worship. Now, how is that like? Explain to me, how is that worship like, and how would students get more involved in that worship? I think you said Tuesday and Thursdays at 2 is when you have it?
Yeah, so we have worship at 2 on Tuesdays, and that always features a music set and a sermon from either Ryan or maybe a guest speaker or one of our interns, and we have time for small groups. And so right now we're in the series called Tribe of the One, which talks about forming community and how that's important for a Christian, and not just as a Christian, but for people in general, how important it is to have like a group of people that you can rely on. So we do series like that throughout the year, and so worship is always at 2 on Tuesdays. Then Thursdays at 2 we have a Bible study. We also offer a Bible study at 8:30 in the dorms for residents at the dorms.
Wow. And what day is this at 8:30? Thursday. So Thursday. So 8:30 at night or in the morning?
At night.
At night. Okay. I was gonna ask, like, if you do it in the morning. Most people are still in the beds, in the dorm beds. But 8:30 in the evening in the dorms. That's spectacular. Have you reached out to residence director like Dr. Boone or Bakari, or is this something that y'all just started doing?
So we reached out to K.L.P and starting to get the ball rolling on that. As far as I know, they're meeting in the 1000 building lobby. But for more updates, definitely check out our Instagram. But yeah, this is something we've just started in the dorms. We didn't have this last year, and we're super excited to have that.
Yeah, I don't remember because I was an RA not last year, academic year, because I retired, but before I seen you guys on campus, and I see your tables and you're setting up, but I never seen you guys give back to Res Life, and I think that's a cool idea, because there are some Res Life students who may not have a car to go to their church service, or if they don't go home that weekend and they really need to have a service, they don't really have that option. But now you guys are coming in and you're bringing in that option for like a weekend, let's say for a resident who doesn't go home on the weekend. You guys are bringing that. That's excellent. That's really, really excellent. So were you guys at the Green Scene Fair? Has that come up yet, the Green Scene?
Yeah, we were.
So tell me what that was like. Did you have members to stop by the table? Did you meet and greet some of them? How was that experience like for you this year at Green Scene?
So Green Scene is one of my favorite events on campus, and we had a great time. This year we got to pass out popsicles right after Green Scene, so that was really fun.
Wow. Did you have like a cooler or something?
Yeah,
because it was hot.
Huge cooler.
It was very hot that day.
Yeah,
I remember it.
So we got to interact with some of the other RSOs on campus and
That's
just
great.
meet people. And there were a lot of incoming freshmen that came to Green Scene, which was great. I think last year I didn't see as many incoming freshmen, so to see so many of them and seeing what GGC did for them was really cool. But yeah, it was great meeting so many new people and seeing some new RSOs on campus and some of the old RSOs too. Seeing them come back, that was cool.
Yeah, unfortunately, Grizzly Talk Podcast wasn't there. We didn't get formed yet for Green Scene, but that's something that we're going to think about being there. Maybe doing a podcast at Green Scene next spring. I know they do it every semester. So do you ever have the idea of partnering with other RSOs, not only here on Grizzly Talk Podcast, but maybe let's say GGC Dance, or maybe let's say GGC Athletes? Do you ever have a plan to partner up with different departments to also help get your word out there and maybe plan some different events?
So we haven't got anything planned as of yet, but we would absolutely love to partner with anyone who's interested. Yeah, if anyone's interested at all, we'd love to make some events and get their RSO out there as well to help support them as well. So that'd be awesome. We'd love to.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to ask you that because Grizzly Talk Podcast, not only we're doing things with audio, we want to do things with video. So we would love to do some video coverage for you at GGC Wesley. Maybe if you're doing, if you're going to mission trips in the state of Georgia, of course, maybe we could tag along. We could get some video content for you guys. Maybe for your Instagram, maybe have a good video out there and have that out for maybe the provost so they can see that this is an RSO that's really giving back to the community. So I applaud GGC Wesley for sure for having this RSO on campus. I think these are quite a few RSOs that really give back and they have a good purpose for service their community, for Grizzly family, and it's amazing for you, Kat. And I can't wait to see what you guys do next. So did you have any further questions for us? Maybe we can answer some questions from us here on Grizzly Talk Podcast.
Yeah, sure. So y'all are relatively new on campus.
Yes.
So what are y'all's plans for the future? I mean, this is awesome.
Yeah, so absolutely. So our plans for the future is to have RSOs out there. We're trying to let Grizzly family RSOs let their voice be heard. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to us on Spotify right now, please contact me at KennedyPatterson2@ggc.edu. I have so many emails, but KennedyPatterson2@ggc.edu. That's the one I have to respond to via students. So I can't take it via my personal or my other work, property management, of course, but my school email is where you guys can contact me to have your voice be heard. Have your RSO be heard out there on the radio. It's amazing, and we can go a long way with it. So that's basically one of our plans, is to have your RSO heard out there that most students may not know about. And you'd be surprised at how many students don't know about different RSOs. Mm-hmm. Many students don't know about us, GGC Wesley, GGC Dance, SGA. A lot of students don't know about these RSOs. So that's our purpose, is to help market and bring RSOs out there for the works for you, to get more members out there on your door. So, ladies and gentlemen, GGC Wesley, it's been a pleasure for you, Kat, for you to come on our show here. And please, I'm going to link their Instagram in the link bio on our Instagram. So you guys tap on their Instagram, follow them. They are a good RSO to follow, good following. We hope to see you guys in our next podcast. That's going to be it for tonight's show on the Grizzly Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Kennedy Patterson. You guys have a great, fantastic rest of your day.